Buongiorno, welcome to Italy. Okay, what's happening is we're here at Lake Garda, we're at a resort called Bardolino now. We're here to visit my wife's family. We've driven here this time, we've had a bit of an exciting journey, we've been across the Alps, it's been brilliant, we stayed in Switzerland for a bit. So we're spending some time here with my wife's family, and we have seen some carp here actually. Garda is of course inland lake, it's fresh water. It's 340 square kilometres, something like that, so it's certainly not a small lake, but we're not fishing here. When we go back, we're going back through northern Italy, across the Alps and into France. Now we're going to stay with some friends. My favourite all-time French fishing complex, we're going to the Goncourt complex. It's my pal's 40th birthday, so this week's video diary, or vlog as they like to call them, is going to be about how I approach my French fishing. I've been fortunate enough to probably into about 30 or 40 French trips now. I've been going since the mid-90s, so I've done a lot of French fishing. I do enjoy it, and I'm going to be hopefully showing you a few tips and catching a few big French whackers. So enjoy the video.
Okay, good morning. So there's my wife just getting packed up and ready to go. We've had 2 weeks touring around in our little camper van. We've been all over the north of Italy. We've had a few down moments. The van struggled a little bit over the Alps and struggled coming back, but we got here. So we give ourselves a little treat last night. We stayed at a lovely little French hotel, a little boutique hotel there, and had a nice meal. And it's Saturday morning and it's time to travel to the lake now, so we've got about an hour's drive. We'll get down to the lake, we'll meet the rest of the guys, we'll do a draw and we'll get fishing. So we'll see you down the lake. Okay, so yeah, it's always a little bit stressful drawing swims and, you know, doing what you have to do, getting your gear set up and all the rest of it, but everybody's drawn the swims now. The light's just going down. Haven't really done a lot of work in the swim, to be honest. I've kind of just found some spots that I'm happy with, popped my rods out, tried not to disturb the water too much. A guy on the other side of the lake has had a fish, and Clive, who's in that corner to my left, he's just had a fish as well. So productive start, I suppose. First night, not expecting a lot. Getting off the mark would be nice, but just being here, we've had a nice little barbecue, something to eat. I'm going to get our heads down now. Probably do a little bit more work in this swim tomorrow. Now's not the time to do it. I'm tired. It was a long journey, as it was for everyone. Some guys aren't fishing yet, to be fair. They're just getting their heads down, and we're here for a week. So yeah, I'll keep you posted and I'll let you know in the morning if anything happens. Well, what a glorious Champagne region morning that we've got here now. So yeah, not a particularly productive night for me, but some fish came out. I'm fishing, well, we're on Botte and I'm fishing the point swim, and this is it's a three-person swim, so there's myself, Roger, whose birthday week it is, and Dave Moore's fishing on the right hand side, so Roger's in the middle, me. Yeah, oh god. Yeah, we've got fish down here, so yeah, Dave had a couple last night. He had a couple of nice ones as well. Roger's had one this morning, so it's looking good. I had a screamer on my right hand rod, but I'm not sure if it was a trailing fish or not. Anyway, I'm not too fussed. It's the first morning. Like last night was just, you know, we had a long drive. Myself and my wife have driven up from Italy, so we've had a, you know, hell of a journey getting down, well, up here. So I wasn't too bothered last night. I just wanged some rods out, had a bit of tea and got my head down. So yeah, Botte. never fished this lake before, but I've fished this complex a lot. Now, what I normally do here is S7. S7 has been absolutely devastating for me on this complex. I really do trust in it, you know, when I'm fishing out in France. No problem, straight on it, you know, I don't have any issues with it. But it's a fish meal based bait. Now, this Lake La Botte holds some huge catfish. I'm nothing against catfish, but I don't particularly want to catch 150 pound catfish, if I'm quite honest. So for this trip I've gone slightly different. I've went down the factory before we set off on our trip, and I've got the switch with me this time. So yeah, it's not a fish meal base mix, so I'm quite happy to use it on here, and hopefully I'm not going to catch catfish with it. While I was down there, the guys have some new prototype pop-ups that I'm going to be having a go with, so that's what I'm armed with. Confident I'm going to get in some fish. There's been odd fish caught, like I say, throughout the lake, but there's that much disturbance on these lakes on Saturday on changeover days. I mean, the fish aren't going to settle down, and odd fish get picked up. But I mean, I think, you know, we need to let things settle down before we really get a pattern of where the fish are and what's going on. Like I said before, I do fish here a lot. They're all gravel diggings. They're not very deep. You get a mixture of 3 different bottoms when you fish down here. The first one being like maybe 6 to 8 inches of mush. Okay, it's not sill. It's like a clayey mush. It's the best way to describe it. You can feel it. There's bits of gravel in it as you're doing your stick down. The other area is just dunk, rock hard gravel, and there are a lot of areas whereby you get like 2 inches of mush and then a hard dunk. In my opinion, they're the best areas. They're the best areas to get bites from. So I've still got fish showing, as you probably heard on camera. So I'm gonna leave the rods till after we've had some lunch, and then I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna have to disturb the water, but because I don't know, I've never fished this lake before. I'm gonna find hopefully some of those areas and get my lines marked up, get some bait on them, and start really put some effort into my fishing for tonight. So that's the plan. I'm gonna maybe go for a shower and then enjoy some French sunshine. So I'll let you know how the day goes. Now these baits got an absolute drenching in the matching switch liquid before I put them in the freezer. So I absolutely drenched them, left them sat in the liquid for about 24 hours, and then I popped them in the freezer, and they've come out perfect. Absolutely saturated, and they really do smell well. So that's my bait for the week, and let's hope it can pick me out some nice fish. Right, so my first fish of the trip looks as though it's a big one. I was starting to give up hope this morning because they were showing on me, fizzing on me, and oh god, it is a good one, and doing everything but picking me up. And it is 52.4. Yeah, happy with that?
Yeah.
52.4. I didn't think it were a 50. I knew it were an upper 40. I didn't think it were a 50. Oh. Well, I'm absolutely knackered. This put up a terrific fight. I've just held it up for its self-takes, and my back is no good for this type of stuff. This is my first fish, and would you believe it, it's a 52 pound stunning Goncourt common that is not happy about the situation at all, and I don't blame him. Look at that. 52.4, absolutely stunning chunk of a common carp. Well happy. What a fish. Come on, mate. Come on, mate. It's extremely hot in France at the moment, and you've just got to be just a little bit careful with them. There you go. Ah. In England this would be a fish of a lifetime, but down here this is one of the, we'd call it one of the better ones. This is £44. Now this fish took a single milky malt. Well, actually I say single, it was just in a little bag. Fish was just showing it about 40 yards, not very far out at all. So I just put 2 bags on them, 2 rods, and the left hand rod went off. And this is not good for your back. So fantastic start, a 52 and a 44. What a start to the week. Brilliant stuff. Look at that lump. 44 pounds of Botte chunk. What an awesome start to the week. Look at the size of that thing. Brilliant stuff. So yeah, this one just took a milky malt. Just fish showing, like I said before, about 40 yards range. Not on my baited areas, to be fair. So I just changed the game a little bit. Tiny PVA bag with some crushed up switch boilies in it and a single milky malt pop up, and off it went. Happy days. Right. Right, so yeah, I've had them 2 fish today, and we're just going out in the boat. I haven't really done a lot of work today because I had fish in the swim. I didn't really do anything, didn't go out in the boat, didn't do a lot because I had fish here. I just, like I said to you before, when I had them fish I was just firing bags at them. So I don't necessarily want to be tight into these this tree line because I ain't really seen them tight, but last night they were certainly showing maybe 15 or 20 yards off them. But what I'd like to find is that type of bottom that I was talking to you before about, is that a little bit of mush with hard gravel. Right, I can immediately, I'm feeling with my stick now, and immediately I've got a better bottom to work with here. Oh, that's fantastic. Right, earlier in the video I said what I wanted to feel is a little bit of mush and then gravel. You might even be able to hear the stick that I'm prodding into the water now. That is absolutely perfect. So a big old bed of mush there. I'm just pushing as I'm doing it with the stick, I'm pushing the boat back, and that is absolutely not where I want to be. So the other side of there is cock on, so there's literally there's like a gravel area, and then it drops off into some mush and comes up into some gravel. So we don't have to be too specific. As long as I get a decent drop with the lead, I'm happy with it. I mean, there's a lot of fish in here, and they come through in big numbers. We don't have to be too specific. We're not fishing like a pit with very few fish in it. And I'm just going to feel this lead down, just underarm it. Absolutely perfect. That's fell with a right good thump. Right, so another absolutely gorgeous morning on the Goncourt complex. I didn't have a fish last night. It was a fishless night for me. If I'm honest, I didn't think it was going to happen last night. Just won't see anything in my swim. There's an area of the lake that the fish well, certainly a good group of fish have stacked up into, so it was a quiet one. We just got to wait for them to move. The guys that are in that area have had a couple of fish, so before long the fish will move out of there and they'll find the next spot. But I've just come down to the lodge to get some milk, because we're putting the whale to right in my swim at the moment, and we've run out of milk because we've been coffeeing it and sorting the whale out. And as we were chatting, Mr. Gibbons' alarms went off, and it would appear he's had a big one. So I popped down, left my rods with the other guys. We'll come down to do a picture. I think it's a big common by sound of it. So this is Clive's swim. So if you look across there to that point, that's my swim on there. And this is Clive's, closest to the toilets, showers and fridges. Now missus. Now missus. Come on, we were friends yesterday. Don't be like that. Now Mavis, have you finished your breakfast or do you want some more? Hey? A little bit more. Come on then. Come on.
That is awesome. Are you watering Jeremy? They don't like it.
I wouldn't like your hands on me.
Oh, steady boy.
Look at that.
That is a beauty.
Right, well after that fantastic start I had, I wouldn't say it went pear-shaped. The following morning I had a mid-20, and then we just stopped seeing fish in this area of the lake. It just went barren. We went 2 days and we barely saw a fish. Dave's still been having a couple because we're on a point. He's fishing the opposite side to me, behind me. So Dave had a couple, Roger had a couple, and my area were just not doing anything. And I got up this morning and I saw a couple of fish, which it looked better, and I've wasp just seen some fizzing down my left hand margin, and I've just dropped a couple of bags on it because I'm pretty confident it were fish, and a rod rattled off. I was convinced it were them rods, and as I got to my rods it's my island rod that's been sat there for like 24 hours, something like that. So yeah, a bit of a strange one, but that's carp fishing for you. And it's a nice fish as well. It's picked up one of the new switch cork ball pop-ups, which do stay pops up for a very long time. Not released yet, but I'm sure it won't be long before they're ready for the public. Over a bit of slop mix and maybe about 30 or 40 switch boilies. And there she is. So £39.10, and hopefully that's the sign of a bloody wasps. That's the sign that we're maybe going to see a bit more action before the week's out. We've got 3 nights left, so I mean, if I'm honest, a £52 common, you should never complain. But most carp anglers want a hit, don't they? That's what we do it for, and hopefully, if they've moved back in a bit, we might stand a chance of catching a couple more before the week's out. So we'll get this one back and I'll redo the rod. Right, so I just put that fish back and Dave's rod's rattled off, but it's certainly not a carp.
It's on a long line, isn't it? So
yeah, mono, innit?
it's got to come a long way.
We're just enjoying a Cronenberg as well, won't we, mate?
This is the biggest one that I've had on, without a doubt. I only got it back to where I upped it.
Dave's been on it about quarter of an hour, and at this stage he's only got it back to where he started. And getting closer, he's got it down his left margin now. It'd be underneath that tree. They're not what we're looking for, but they are a spectacular creature all the same. I ain't grabbing anything. Oh god, it is a big one.
You need to do it facing me, because it's got edge. Because I thought it was a one-handed job, but I was being a bit...
That's a 100-pounder.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. Yeah.
My god, look at the size of that.
I don't know, and it's tipping up.
Roger, that's not the best view. Right, so these unhooking mats are around about 1 metre long, and Dave's just caught this. What are we guessing this one at?
I'd personally say 100-pound.
Well,
you've had one this week, haven't you?
Is it about the same size as yours, Clive? We're about £100 there, guys.
£100, maybe more.
There's a spot. Right, that's rock hard gravel, as you can hear. That's rock hard. And what I want to be on, if I can, I want to be on an area just off that. Everyone kind of fishes to the gravel, and I much prefer to just wait till it drops back into the mush a little bit. So we'll keep working this bar. Usually they're about the size of a pool table. There you go. Now can you fit? You can hear that? That is the area that we want. Give them a good old spray in a bit. What do you reckon then, Mavis? Are we getting one tonight, darling? What do you reckon? Mavis, you could be helpful. You could tell us where they are. So Big Fish Thursday, hasn't done Big Fish yet, but we've got tonight. So we've got 2 nights. Friday night's a bit of a, you know, you're more interested in getting your kit packed down and getting ready to get off. But so we've got 2 nights left fishing, so there's always still that chance. I've seen fish in my swim today, so I'm reasonably confident. Although I've not had a night fish yet. You know, the guys on the other side are doing fish on a night. I haven't had one yet, so that's not a problem, is it? You're catching them through the day. So before we get the rods out tonight, we're all going to go to the lodge. We're having a bit of a social barbecue, celebrate Roger's birthday. So we'll go around there and have some scran, have a couple of beers and have a bit of a laugh together. Then it's back round after tea and we'll get the rods back out again. But that rod's still linering. It's been doing it all day. So yeah. We'll see what happens tonight. We'll get the rods out and hopefully before the end of the holiday we get one of the big ones. It'd be nice. There's some 60s in this lake. That'd be pleasant to say the least. But it's been baking hot. There's been very little wind and you just know when you get here it's like it's going to be a tough week. And I think we're probably on about 60 or 70 fish across the group. That's not including the catfish. That's just the carp. So I suppose, yeah. I suppose looking at the conditions, I've had weeks in this weather on this complex where it's fished really well, but you can just tell by the fish just the lethargic. There's very little crashing. It's just you just know that they're not having it, and any pickup's an opportunist pickup. You know, you have to work for your fish. I've certainly worked in this swim quite a lot. You know, to get the few that I've caught. I'm on 6 fish now, but you know, I had that 50, so I shouldn't complain. And there's still chance for another fish yet before I go. So we'll go get something to eat, and we'll get the rods out for Big Fish Thursday.
Pascal, thank you for the fabulous, lovely price that she sent me on yesterday. Unless she wants to kill me or.
She's singing the same. But they failed.
And bottoms up, people. Bottoms up.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I must say, to a truly nice bloke. Well done, Roger.
Yeah. What are you after?
Nothing.
As we're travelling down, we stopped at a services.
Thank you, it's lovely.
I mean, Dave, we're running around. We thought, well, we'll have a cup of coffee, and we come across this shop called Toast. Yeah, right.
Where's the off?
Have you been recently?
Well, we never heard of it, right? So I've been waiting for someone to do something stupid all week. Have tosser of the water week. Yeah? Now Vinny was in great running up. He was winning. Vinny had dropped a box of swivels, full box of swivels, all little compact in the gravel, and he's there. I saw him on the floor picking stuff up and going. And in the end, I said, Vinny, what are you doing? He says, I've dropped my swivel box in the gravel. But Mark beats it. Mark beats it. Yeah.
Set fire at my tent.
Why?
Set fire. Well, number one, set fire to his bivvy nearly. Had a run, ran out, knocked his tripod over it, landed on his candle and all the rest of it. He looks round, he's got a fire.
Is that the same tripod that he tried to whack that rat with and broke it?
Probably. Also, no sacking. He put them in recovery slings, is the same as sacking.
It was only 3 carp.
It was only 3 carp. Right?
Didn't catch them all at
On
once.
Facebook, so anyway, he's had his one.
Bernie's
So
dinner
toss
as
of the
well.
week, it's you, Mark, I'm sorry.
Right, so there's Rod's just putting his rods out for the night, and Mavis hasn't left our side all week. Dave's having a desperado, and we'll go see what Mrs P is doing. Like I said to you before, guys, we've been in Italy for a couple of weeks, so I'm not bivvied up. We're in the little camper van, so we've hid this round the corner. It's not carpy, but it certainly helps when you've got a lot of gear with you. Mrs Pritchard, what's happening?
Fajita night.
Woohoo! Fajitas!
It's taken 40 minutes to chop vegetables and chicken.
Well, you're doing a very sterling job, if I do
Not
say
one
so
of my
myself.
better ideas.
Well, we could have had a pizza. I did
I'm
say.
going to have a desperado now.
We'll go get you one. Right, say goodbye to everyone.
Night night.
Okay, so you can see the sun going down behind me. It's going to be the last French sunset I'm going to see for the year. It's the last night, it's Friday night. Got rods out about an hour ago, and I've just lost one, unfortunately. So I'm probably more confident now than I have been any other night this week. See more activity, more fizzing. They're certainly moving out the groups that they've been held up in for most of the week. So hopefully everything goes according to plan and we get it right. We might just be able to nick another fish before we go home. Roger's doing a daft walk in front of me and put me off. Don't pull a Monet. So yeah, we've had a really good time. We've had a fantastic week. Everybody's caught. Some of the guys have not been to France before, and they've had PBs, which is always a good thing. You know, I remember when I first come to France and I think I caught a 38 on my first trip. I just couldn't believe the size of it. You know, I'd been catching 21s, 22s. Everybody's had a really good time. We've all caught, like I say. And you never know, it did. I think it did 8 or 9 fish last night, and they're more active now than what they were yesterday. So I'm probably guessing around a dozen fish are going to come out tonight, and there's always a chance that one of the big ones might make a mistake. So there's always that chance. You just don't know. Everybody's kind of confident with the spots. We kind of know what's what now. It's took everybody a few days to figure it out. I've never fished this lake before, and I've certainly learnt a lot about the lake. I found the bars and found bits of sandy areas that I like to fish. Like I mentioned before, you know, the areas that I like to fish. So we'll get some tea, let the sun drop, and we'll see what happens. So I'll let you know in the morning how we get on. Right, good morning. It's the last morning, and yeah, it's been a productive night. So I said yesterday, it's like a new weather front's coming. Oh, almost as though it was coming to a new season. At Roger's barbecue, there was sweat dripping off as it was uncomfy, you know, you couldn't sleep on a night, and now it's probably a good 10 degrees drop in temperature, you know. I've got my flip-flops on still, my feet are freezing. Totally different weather conditions, and the fish have reacted, you know, the behaviour's completely changed, they've moved. People were catching before, now aren't getting as many bites, and the water's colouring up in different areas of the lake. And I said last night, you know, I'm confident tonight. I really thought I was going to get one last night, and I had a common about £30 about 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm guessing it's about 6:30, 7 o'clock now, and I've just had a big one. I've got a personal best, which I'm obviously mega delighted with. Yeah, I've got a £60 common, so we're just gonna have a coffee. I've just put it in a sling now. We're having a coffee, and we'll get some pictures done. I'll show you it. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Have you got it?
Yeah, Sam. Thank you. Right. Last morning, just before we're going home, like I said, we just start to pack up, and I've had one of the big uns. I was actually speaking to Maxime yesterday. Maxime's the owner of the lake, or part owner of the lake, and he reckons there's 360s in this lake at the moment, and I've been very lucky because I've had one of them. And what a way to test a new product. This was on the switch cork ball pop-ups that the guys gave me at the factory. They said, "Here, have a go with these." We're just in the production of them, and yeah, we can safely say that they work. Look at that. Absolute beast. I'm almost lost my words. This is the biggest carp I've ever caught in my life, and I am one happy carp angler. And it's raining now, and it's time to go home. We've had a fantastic holiday, fantastic people, we've met some new friends, and caught a fish of a lifetime, and my arms are hurting, so it's going down. Well, that's a wrap on a fantastic trip to Italy and a fantastic week's fishing with some friends. It's time for off. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next video diary.
Am I going right way?
So we'll see you again next year, alright mate? That's how we roll.
Singing in the rain. Got to park up in the rain. It's been great. I'd come again, but on my own next time. I think it's a bloody coffee shop round here.
Yeah, Cafe Roger.
Free coffees then.
Free
aren't they?
coffee.
I think I've made a sugar.
Yeah.
Sugar and milk. I
Yeah.
think I've got some cow distillery round back here.
We've been very well looked after, haven't we, Roger?
Yeah. Well done, Jojo.
Yeah, good skills, Joe.
All I could say is that I've never eaten as well on the bank.
Ah.
Look at that, eh?
Class that, and don't forget I've been fishing a long time.
Oh.
There you go, Pete. You should set up Pete's Carpy Catering.
Catering, yeah.
Bye.
Bye.